Right, I'm determined I'm actually going to get to introduce this episode. And do you know how I know I'm going to get to do this? I've covered all bases this time. Look at this. Look. 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 Hey, hey. So, here we go. Here we go. What? Hey? What? Ah, you.
Hello you lot, got a lot to do. Welcome to this episode. Now, we've got the rest of the dash to sort out, get all the wiring all into one point. Don't know quite how we're going to do it because we've got to disconnect it all from the engine as well, get rid of the whole loom, because I want the whole loom pulled out so we can spray it all. So we've got the sound deadening and the underseal to get off the bulkhead. We've got the rear axle to drop with all the ancillaries on it. What we do is we probably drop that right down and then bring it out, and then we can film taking it apart. And then I've got to decide whether we're going to use the aluminium swing arms or the metal swing arms, the iron swing arms. I've cut a few bits and loosened some nuts and bolts off on that just to help us out, so we're not spending time filming us trying to loosen bolts off and nuts off. I've cut the drop links off on this side and managed to undo them on the other side because they've got like a 5mm Allen key that slots into it, and then you use a 16mm spanner or accessible ratchet to undo them. So you hold it sort of tight really and steady so it'll undo. But it just kept twisting on itself, which I do because obviously there's a lot of gunk and crap in it. So I've cut that off. So yeah, I think we just crack on with getting this sound deadening off and cut the loom out. If we've got a bit of time, I might just bolt the seat frame in and get the seat sides up and put onto it, see what's what. So we start with that then first, shall we? Oh, and by the way, you won't see Mark because he's behind the camera, so you won't see his pretty face today, but you'll probably hear him now and again.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
That's right, no problem. Yeah, okay then. Get a pair of cutters and get snipping. Oh, I'm gonna have to put some bloody door edging on that because that's bloody sharp to sit on. Alright, let's cut these out. Oh God. They're about as sharp as my wit. God, they're terrible. I think I'd have a really good pair being a sparkly for a trade, wouldn't you? But I've lost them. Oh, that's better, that's got it. I've sussed it now.
They're not something that I've borrowed and not brought back, are they?
No. That's that one. Might as well just cut them ones off because I want to get new plates for them. Oh, blimey, they're rubbish. They really are rubbish. So let's mark, let's say we'll put a bit of tape around that so we know that's the middle of the loom. Whether it'll make any difference, I don't know. Or help us, I don't know. Right. Oh look, I can cut the cable for the old bonnet catch because that's got to come out, we don't need that. Right. Oh, the bungee snapped. That's what I've done on the other one. They just spin off. Oh yeah. Grand Prix never happened yesterday then.
No. Too wet.
Norris was lucky, wasn't he? Qualifying. Old Vettel's a gent though, isn't he? I was impressed with that.
I wouldn't stop for you.
No, you wouldn't, would you? No. But I'd stop for you. That pretty face.
Yeah, well, that goes without saying, doesn't it?
Because you're just pretty. I suppose it really matters because they're not going back on, are they? Aha! Right, so it's nearly there now. Right. I'll have to cut a lot of this out because there's still a load of stuff we need to take out, which I didn't expect. Yeah, I'll just cut out what I can cut out for now, and then the dog can see the rabbit then. That's it, that's good, that's better. That's better. What we got over there? Is that go around there? That must be brake line there, is it? Yeah. Not much. Yeah, happy as ever.
That's all right. It's only the lights.
You've only told me 10 times not to knock them over.
Yeah, that's all right. No one can see it.
Now, okay. Right. It's a little bit more complicated than I first thought. Oh, why is it such a ball ache, really? I just want to get... Look at all them. Why is everything so complicated now? I done did the 5 turbos, you could strip it and build it back up in a weekend. Right, okay. That's got it. That's that bit. Put that back on there so we don't lose it. Let's grommet on that one. That's an outgo, that one, I reckon. It comes in. There we go. Okay. Now, this seat plate fit in, it's fine on the front because it's got support on the front of it, but at the back, when you bolt them down, there's too much flex in it. Now I thought it went further back, it was a lot longer, and I've got that bit of alley to cut down so we can shape it, so we can rest it on there, so it keeps it nice and... But no, so we've got to play about with that, so we won't be fitting that today, but I've got to come up with a different plan to sort of pack that out on that back rail, and that's too thick, so yeah, we've got to get over that basically. So we won't be doing that tonight. That's one for later on. So I think then probably the rear axle and drop it and pull it out and see what we got and strip it down. Yeah. Right, I'm going to be honest with you now. Whenever you came in this Sunday just gone, and we soaked all the nuts and bolts in WD-40, and we've got them all slackened off, so we're not filming us trying to undo bloody bolts and struggling with them because it's just pointless. And then what we do then is just drop these calipers off the back. We cut the sensor wires because I'm not going to faff about with them. We just replace them. So I reckon we've got about 10 bolts to undo, and then the whole thing can then drop down. We drop it down on a jack, and then we just drag it out on the floor, and then we can take it apart on the floor. It's just a lot easier. The sensor wires we just cut off. I'm just going to put new sensors on anyway, so we just cut them off, and then the calipers can just hang off the back of the car, so we can get this unit. I've got new calipers for these. They come today, funny enough. So we're going to change all them. We've got obviously the brake pipes to do, the braided lines to do, but really we're just going to concentrate on getting this axle unit, rear axle out, and all the ancillaries with it, and just try and do it all in one go. Alright, so do these calipers first. They're 13mm, so they come off first. So, what am I doing? Get the ugga dugger. What am I doing? Oh, I'll go and get that in a second. There we go, there's one off. Just knock that through there. It's got it. Might actually undo with it. Do some of those brake lines as well. Oh, didn't realise they were on the actual axle. Right, okay, got that one down. Do the other side. Do the other side. That's good. I was hoping that. I wonder if that'll come off with that. I bet it don't. I bet that won't undo there. I'll try it anyway. We try it. It'd be good if it does, but I don't think it will. We missed that. We missed a lot actually. Sorry, Arch. That's because it's all the weight's going to that one. Right. Good. Excellent. It. Good. Right, good. Get in there. Okay, to the other side. Right, we're just going to get some WD on these brake lines. We'll give them a good bloody soaking of it. We'll give them 2 or 3 goes of that. Because I know what'll happen. They'll shear off. I was hoping they wouldn't be connected to that rear axle, that's what I was hoping, but they are, they're all connected into it, the bracket's on there, and you can't take the bracket off. Anyway, I'll give that a good soak. Got a Beach Boys going through my head all of a sudden, what's that? Got it. Another one. Slowly getting it apart. Oh. Good. Right, so we've got that one there. Won't do them. I'll do them last. We'll get the jack under it to support that. The rest of it's off. Just got to get the brake lines undone. Get that caliper through there. Got to get the handbrake cable off. Right. Disconnected the handbrake cables and the little brackets that go onto the axle. I pulled the cables out the way. The brake lines are absolutely do the hooter for the thingy mark. So we've got to replace them anyway, but there's a load of rust, so we've got to take the fuel. We're going to take the fuel tank out. I've got a new strap for the fuel tank, so we might as well get that out, treat all the rust behind it, and tidy it all up and paint it. Change the brake lines, brake pipes. Yeah, so everything's disconnected now. So literally, I think we've got 4 bolts to undo. And then we'll lower it down on the jack and see what happens. Should probably cock it up, but oh, and I've took the rear bumper, the aluminium sort of bumper thing off because I kept banging my head on the little bracket that was hanging down. So yeah, let's get cracking. I'll undo this one first, and I'll come round and. That one. coming. It's coming. It's coming, Mark. It's there. It's there. Woohoo! Alright, I'll get this out of the way. And then we drag it out. Excellent. I'll try and make some more noise, shall I? Right, let's drag it out. Look up there, see what it's like behind. Yeah, perhaps you want to show them this rust mark. All that rust, look, down there, we've got to clear all that up, so we'll have to take the tank out at some point and we treat all that and then paint it and tidy this up a bit. But the trouble is we're not allowed to touch it too much for the championship, which seems a bit, well, a bit bad really. But yeah, so we need to tie all that up and sort all that out and put new brake lines on because they're notorious for going wrong. It looked like they've been done anyway, but not particularly very well. So we'll redo them. Right then, let's drag this out then, shall we? Oh, cool, we caught, Mark, we caught. Oh, I knew it would. I knew it would. I knew it would. I knew it would. It should come out now. Oh. It's a gymnast, you know, in the past life. Alright, let's get this round here so you can see it. Alright then. Well, that's all that out. I love it when a plan comes together. Now, we have a new one that Mini sent us. It needs a bit of a clean up and repaint, but it's far better nick than what that one is. That was just sitting on their shelf and they said, oh look, we've got this sitting there, do you want it? Yeah. So that's going to change that one. These trailing arms are coming off. Obviously the hubs are coming off, they're all just got to be unbolted and everything. And I'm probably going to send them off to be sandblasted, but we're going to see once we've got them off, whether they are actually heavier than the aluminium ones that we've got. I think they're lighter. I think we're going to stay with these, and I think I've got a feeling we've got to stay with them anyway. And then these arms are coming off and having a clean up. It looks like it's had two new ones on the top anyway, and we've got some poly bushes to go in there in each of those, so that's to do. We've got a poly bush to go in this bracket here that holds that trailing arm underneath, so that comes off. They come off as well and get all cleaned up and sandblasted, but I think we're going to send them away and get them sandblasted. A lot of people powder coat them, but I don't believe in powder coating. I'm just going to paint them in chassis black, because if you damage them or tint them, you can repaint them, you can touch them up, where if it's powder coat you can't really. It's just my little thing. And then we've got the anti-roll bar to come off. That's going to be cleaned up and repainted. And we've got new poly bushes to go in there. They're the Power Flex ones. And we've got all sorts of new stuff. Look, new hubs. They're the swelled the anti-roll bar on. Got new brake calipers. Well, we've got these heavy duty drop links as well. They're a bit harder wearing than the standard. Normally you'd have adjustable ones so you can alter the stiffness of that anti-roll bar, but it's got to be all sort of standard, so yeah, they've just got to go on. And then obviously we'll have new suspension coilovers, adjustable coilovers eventually. Probably put these old ones back on until we've got the new ones when they come. Hopefully we're going to go to the factory and film how they make them, but we'll wait and see on that one. I'm not promising anything on that. That's about it really. Obviously got braided brake hoses to go on eventually. And that's really it. That's the back end. Just got to take it apart and strip it down to its component parts and clean them up, and then we put it all back together again, and Bob's your uncle. Buddy's your aunt.
Right, so thanks for watching this episode. next time, and you won't want to miss it, next time we are
going to take the fuel tank out, the rest of it out. We'll take half of it. It's hanging there basically because we took the rear axle out, but there's a load of rust behind it and everything else where the condensation collects. So we're going to treat that, wire brush it down with angle grinders, prime it with epoxy primer and then paint it, and just generally tidy it all up. Replace the brake lines because the brake lines are absolutely knackered, which is a common fault. So yeah, watch that, like and subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Don't cost you anything to subscribe.
Press the subscribe button so you get to know about the next episode, which will probably be in another 2 weeks. So we'll see you then.